Crystal, thank you so much for living local with me today. I'm so excited to be here with the Queen of Eat Palm Beach.
Thank you so much for having me.
Crystal, I know that you have been doing so much in terms of the outreach and helping local restaurateurs, helping local restaurants, helping local bars really get through this time. Can you talk to me about how that connects with Eat Palm Beach, your brand?
So I started Eat Palm Beach about 7 years ago as a way to kind of reconnect with Palm Beach. I had moved out of town and I came back, and when all of this started, the impact on the restaurants I felt came so fast and furious. And anytime there's anything, I'm used to more so hurricane relief, but whenever there's a time that our community is greatly in need, I always feel compelled to step up, do whatever I can. I feel like if you take the time to build a platform and then do nothing with it, it's kind of, what is the point? Because my goal was always not to monetize, but to create a sounding board for our community, to help local businesses, entrepreneurs. And, I just ended up in the food scene. When all this happened, it hit me particularly hard. Over like almost the last decade, I've built really good relationships. This has kind of become my food family. And when I really realized how bad this was going to be and the potential impact and financial implications and unemployment and the food insecurity that's going to go on, with people who are getting laid off and everything, I really felt like I needed to spring into action. And so I started hashtag Save PB Food, and PB being Palm Beach County. A lot of people think I kind of, niche into, either gardens or the island or whatever, but I always try to serve our county as a whole. And I wanted to come up with a concept that I thought would help people. A lot of people want to get involved, and especially with this, it's such an unprecedented thing because it's like, you can't have a concert, you can't have an event, you can't have a fundraiser because none of us can be near each other. So it's like, how can we all band together as this community and help, but also stay away from each other? And so I was like, you know what, I can have people donate food, I'll divvy it up to different restaurants, put in catering orders, and then I'll deliver them to, our front line, our first responders, police, fire, the hospital staffs and things that are dealing with everything that's going on with the whole medical situation. And that way there's kind of, it's a double down of good feelings, which I think also is important right now to kind of have, morale boost and good vibes. So that's how it started out. And I have people where they're donating money and then I'm helping put in the orders and get the food in. Some places they're a little more locked down with how much you can access, which is, fair enough. But, it's identifying the stations we can get into and things like that, and kind of spreading the love and having a good positive energy going around.
And I think that you have certainly channeled that positive energy when I started seeing the posts, because obviously I love to follow along. That's the first thing that made me smile was, seeing you kind of back in action, because for a lot of us, I think that this has halted our norm. And for you to find kind of a new normal, I think was just so great. And it made me just very, very proud of you. How can we, like you said, how can we help? But how can we help constructively? Because I know a lot of us, we want to send those double taps. We want to send that digital love. How can we genuinely help without necessarily getting in the way? Because we do have to be respectful of that space. We do have to be respectful of that social distancing that we're all practicing. But I know that we all do want to help within our financial means.
Honestly, so people who are able to financially give, that's the most helpful right now. What I'm doing is I'm pooling those funds and then spreading them out across the restaurants. One of the biggest misconceptions I'm dealing with right now from both the consumer and the restaurant side is people think that I have the restaurants donating food. And that's actually kind of polar opposite of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep money going into the restaurant so they can hopefully keep their doors open. There's kind of a two-pronged approach right now with what's going on in our food community. You have the people who were forced to close down and who have done layoffs, and those people are dealing with financial and food insecurities. And then you have the other side of the people who are keeping their doors open but struggling to do so. So my goal is on that side. Rodney Mayo has really stepped up in a big way. I know Zach Bell's working on taking care of people who have been laid off. I'm trying to help it where we're getting money going through the doors, whether you're, some people are on quarantine or locked down and they're not going to go out and spend money in a restaurant, but they don't mind giving towards the cause. They don't mind helping keep their favorites open. And so I wanted to step away also from recommending buying gift cards, even though I love that concept and I hope people do that. I didn't necessarily want to push that because depending on how long this really goes on, you might be sitting there with a bunch of gift cards to restaurants that don't exist anymore. And it's a very sombering and harsh reality, but it made it where I wanted to do something that I knew the money would not go missing. It would definitely get into the hands of restaurants, and the food would definitely get into the hands of people who, really need it. So, I've had people who have reached out to me and said, can you help us feed the kids? Can you help us feed this and that? And I don't have those contacts. And so, for me, I try to stay in my wheelhouse. And this is something I knew that I could accomplish. So, it also, depending on what you have going on, I'm really hoping that people will band together and come up with their own initiatives also of, designating, hey, this list is for people who have been laid off where you can get food. I've heard that there's different food banks and churches and things like that who are doing outreach that no one knows about. And so you have a lot of people right now who are kind of freaking out and running around, and they don't even realize that there are resources there for them. So in terms of my initiative and what I'm doing, the best thing you can do is donate. If you don't have the funds available, I have had some people who have been helping me run food a little bit here and there. But, I am trying to also be cognizant of not having people out and about, making sure that we're using really good protocols and handling, because we are going into hospitals with some of the food and into our fire stations and things like that. So I'm trying to really keep like a tight lock on those things and be as responsible as possible.
And this is a time where that is so important. I have been so proud and so excited to see measures that have been taken by Old School Bakery, by Bolé, people who are really taking that initiative socially to say, hey, here's what we're doing. We want to make sure that we keep you safe, and we will certainly make sure that everybody knows all the details about your initiative, because we want to be able to support, but we want to make sure that we're supporting in a practical and a really useful way. And I know in times like this, we can't all necessarily give each other the hug that we want to, but when we can do things that we feel like are actually making a difference and that are being truly instrumental, I think that gives us that feeling of accomplishment and feeling like we really are making a difference.
It's kind of nice too, because right now you can't even go out and have, coffee with your girlfriends or meet up with anyone. And I feel like it's kind of nice too. We tried really hard to get photographs of everything happening, and that's not really, to brag or do this or that. It's more so to have it where people can really see, one, where their money's
where it's going.
Not stocking my fridge. There's a ton of nurses and policemen and everyone holding up their food. And you know what? I also feel like it just kind of gives you that nice little feel good where you almost feel like you were there and you got to watch the food get delivered. You got to see the smiling faces. I've gotten the most amazing feedback, and I'm trying to share the messages that I get back with the restaurant so that they really realize that it helped them, that they got money in, but they also really made like a nurse crew's day. And I think it's really nice for everyone, because good news is awesome news right now.
Absolutely. I was actually at Bolé today and saw an entire group of firefighters and just talked to them and talked to them about how everything is going, and everyone is just on 150% right now, and any little bit that we can do or that we can see and we can spread that joy. It's like you said, it's not about it's not about the number of likes that photo is getting at this point. We are socially in this together in a big way. And I think it's great to still kind of post pictures of your food, even if you're making it home or getting it delivered, because those are things we always did. And I don't think that we need to come to a screeching halt in terms of everything that we did socially. I am still make sure that I follow your tips and find some natural lighting when I do have my local takeout. I find some natural lighting and snap a fun pic. I'm now calling it craft services here at my set here.
That's perfect. Well, no, and honestly, it's hard right now. We're really in the thick of it, but this will end and we will be okay. And some of these restaurants will reopen. And, you want to still find, I found an amazing meal at Elena's Bake Shop that I'd never had before. And now it's like on my list. They're still doing curbside, so I'll be back there this week, so it's a weird time, but it doesn't mean that life has to totally stop. It's a new normal right this minute, but we'll also get back there. And I think it's important to still kind of have the messaging and stuff going out and still supporting local as much as we can. And, it's hard for me too, because I'm a food blogger. I like to really stay in my lane when I can, but honestly, it's across the board. If you want to help support local businesses, there's a lot of creative things that people are doing, and boutiques are moving to online platforms, and some of the girls have it where you can shop their Instagram and they'll run it out to your cars. If you're a shopaholic, don't give up, girl. So, I think it's just an important time to really, really get creative for the people that you want to make sure bounce back from this in a strong way. Make it happen, call them up and figure it out.
Right. What have you been doing to kind of keep the normal? I know you've been busy with your individual endeavors, but I also know that, you're a mom and you've got lots of stuff going on at the house. What have you been doing to kind of keep a routine there?
Well, I'm really lucky. I have my mom close by, and she used to own Montessori school, so she's kind of been taking over our 4-year-old. I'm on 4-month-old duty, which my husband's trying to deal with right now. He's working from home too, but right? I love you.
I love you. So we can sit here on Skype.
He's gonna kill me when I get off this. He's gonna be like, "Oh, take her." But yeah, it is a new normal. It's funny. A lot of people think I do Eat Palm Beach as my full-time job, but I don't. I'm a commercial real estate agent by trade, and I also do social media services and PR and things like that. So my days are really weird because half the time I'm in the trenches trying to put together these meals and save our restaurant scene, and then I have deals blowing up on my residential or my real estate side, and then I have totally normal conversations with my PR clients who are like, "Hey, what do we want to pitch for spring?" And it's like, to click in and out of those concepts it's a weird thing normally, but now it feels so foreign because where people's alert and where their focus is so different right now. But it's just finding a new routine. Luckily for me, I worked from home anyway, so like financially and stuff, a lot of things are changing, but structure wise, I always work from home, so I'm kind of used to working with the madness going on around me, and I'm used to grabbing food on my way home to like have a quick lunch on the kitchen counter. So that the main thing for me really has been Eat Palm Beach that's changed, because we're not eating out at restaurants, there are no events going on and stuff like that. So, but for my day-to-day life, it's actually been the normal chaos that I'm accustomed to.
The controlled chaos. I love it.
It could be more controlled.
But where's the fun in that?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't build character at all.
Not at all. Well, Crystal, thank you so much for living local with us this afternoon and telling us about all the fantastic things that you are doing here in our community. Where can we follow along? What is the best place for us to keep up with the latest information to make sure that we can help out as well?
I'm at Eat Palm Beach across the board. So I have eatpalmbeach.com, and then I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're interested in the Save PB Food movement, we have a GoFundMe set up, and that link is also available on all the different platforms, and I would greatly appreciate any help I can have there.
We will make sure that we spread the word, and everyone else far and wide can live local with you and with me, and we will make sure that we save PB Foods together.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to actually see you soon.